Channel. So in this video, I'm going to be telling you guys 5 ways to use grief as motivation. Today is Tuesday and the world was hit with Kate Spade committing suicide in her townhome, in her apartment. Not really sure the details, but we are living in a world today where so many people are depressed, so many people are unhappy with what is transpiring in their lives. And I felt the need to do this video, especially because I just did a life update video about me recently losing my grandma, who was more like my mom. I took like 3 to 4 weeks off of YouTube. In case you missed this video, you should go check it out. I talk about some really great things to kind of inspire you on this journey. So this is kind of like a part 2, because when I found out that she committed suicide, and then just talking to other people who recently lost a loved one, I felt like this is needed because so many people have asked me, like, how are you getting over this? How are you doing this? How are you doing that? And I just wanted to do this video as an inspiration to let you guys know out there that you are not alone. Death is something that is going to keep happening. We all have an expiration date, like I have said this before, and you want to live your best life. So sometimes you really have to take that moment to grieve, but use it as a motivation. So kind of came up with some things that I'm currently doing. I'm not going to tell you guys something that I'm not doing, so that you can use in your daily life, because mental illness is real. We don't talk about it enough. We don't check on our loved ones enough, and we don't give real answers. So many people just say, yeah, I'm okay. But we live in a world where people judge you so darn much that you don't want to tell them how you are feeling. But if you have 1 or 2 great friends, talk to them. It's so important too, because I don't want to lose any of my friends or family to suicide. You know, I just want everyone, I want all of us to be the healthiest version of ourselves and that we can be. My first tip that I can kind of give you that I'm using on my grieving journey is use your loved one, your children, your spouse, someone that holds a dear, what's the word for it? Something very dear to your heart. Someone that you know you can count on, that is still living, breathing, or maybe they aren't living. Maybe you can still use them as your motivation in this journey. Like my grandmother, she wouldn't want me to be sad. Like I've told you guys this, my grandmother was a very strong woman. She would want me to keep doing amazing things. She was super proud of me. So just by me knowing that, I can use that in my grieving journey as a motivation to keep pushing, to keep going on in life. And for those of you that don't know, when you are in the grieving phase, you're getting back into your routine. So you're going back to work, you're going back to school. You know, life does not stop once you become once someone loses their life or they have died. You know, you have to keep pushing in this journey. So like my children are my motivation. So when I see them, when they laugh, when they do something that just drives me crazy, I'll just, you know, and you just say, Lord. Like before I did this video, started recording this video, I had to keep stopping because they just wanted to keep making all this noise. But you look at those moments and say, dang, I want to enjoy these moments because I may not have them all the time. So for me, that is my motivation, that my children need me. My children make me smile, they make me happy. And at the end of the day, they need me. They need Mama Steph. You have to find someone who, if you don't have children, who brings that joy in your life, that you know they will miss the hell out of you if you ever get to that point of feeling like you no longer want to be here. Talk to them. Talk to your children about, you know, things that are going on. Children say the most darnest things that can just turn a day upside down, like literally. I mean this to like the highest power. A second great tip that you guys can use on your grieving journey to turn it into motivation to keep pushing on in life is to, it is something that you have always wanted to do, that you have talked about. Find something that can keep you not thinking about death, not thinking about this particular situation that has transpired into your life. So for me, I'm trying to stay busy in work. I'm trying to stay busy in my brands. I'm trying to find that medium of life. It's not necessarily that you're not dealing with it. It's just you are trying to find an outlet for you, a skill that you've been wanting to work on, that you've been putting off. Sometimes we get so caught up in not living, and I've said this in my last video, we get caught up in not living, taking a moment out to breathe, to enjoy the fruits of our labor. We work so hard that, you know, we say, oh no, I need this because I gotta pay this, pay that. Set some time out to do something that you don't want to do. You know, grieving should not be sad all the time. You know, you definitely want to make sure that you are finding that balance in your life and using it as a motivation to keep pushing and to keep trucking. So definitely pick up a skill if you don't have a skill. If you do have a skill, keep putting in more work. Maybe you've been slacking on it. Like I took some time off. Now I'm trying to get caught up, and that has really taken my mind off things. So another helpful tip in using your grief to use it as motivation is, I find that it is perfectly fine to talk about your deceased loved one. I feel like when you talk, you are getting it out. You are getting how you feel. And it's so important to talk to people that have lost someone. Your grief that you are starting, the grief that you feel turns into happiness because you start talking about the most joyful memories that you have encountered with this person, and it's motivating you to want to do better. It's uplifting your spirits. It's giving you that peace of serenity. That's what I find when I talk about my grandmother or my dad or anyone that I have lost that has really affected me in some type of way. I find talking about them really brings joy to my life, and it makes me look at that and say, my loved one wouldn't want me to be sad. They wouldn't want me to be upset that they are no longer here. And you want to use it as a motivation. You know, maybe you want to go to a support group. It's okay. Maybe you want to go to therapy. That's okay too. It's so important to do these things if you know that you are stumbling in your grieving process and it is not bringing you to finding some motivation, to finding you to want to do better for yourself, you know. And that's the most important part. You want to make sure you're not 100%, but you're good. Like you don't have to worry about harming yourself in a sense. So the fourth tip I would say is, well, not even a tip, but it's just finding gratitude that you are still here. You still have a life to live. You have children, you have maybe a mom, a dad, maybe aunts, uncles who love you, sisters and brothers who also love you and want you to be here. You know, waking up, finding your purpose every morning and trying to figure out what is your next direction in life. For me, you know, I think I say to myself often in this process is, what would Ruth Parker want me to do? You know, she would want me to be grateful. She would want me to have gratitude that I'm still here and that I'm young and that I'm, you know, able to do everything that she probably has done plus more. You know, her being a mom, working and living her life. And you have to find gratitude in that process of your grieving and use it as a motivator, because you should wake up grateful with that gratitude attitude that you have this life and you don't want to waste it, you know. And I'll kind of lead into my last one is just, it is okay to be vulnerable. I think once you have found that acceptance, because grief has many layers, it has stages that you will go through. You won't go in order, and it all depends on you, your personality, how you react to different things. I find that being vulnerable allows me to, it reminds me of another one that I stated earlier. It allows me to just know that this is life, know that we all have an expiration date, and it all joins together. You have to find that gratitude. You have to look at your children as a motivation, your family as a motivator. you know, finding something that piques your interest, whether you have a skill that you're doing right now, and just allowing you to be vulnerable in the process of grieving, because grieving can take time. And I find that just being vulnerable, just expressing myself, like I said before, like being able to talk about things, it allows me to say and look at the bigger picture of where my life is headed. And I use that as a motivation to want more, to do better, to make my loved one proud, even more proud if they already weren't proud of you, already are proud of you, and just letting them know, because they are watching, whether we can hear them, see them, you know, they are proud of us and they want us to do better. They don't want us to be sad. I know it's easier said than done, and that's why I always tell people, you will find that moment in your life to be able to accept what it is. It will be hard. I never tell people that you'll be okay, because I feel like that's not something you should say, because that's automatic. You know, sometimes some people aren't okay and it leads to suicide, and it leads to many other things, of years of depression. So I really hope you guys like this video. I really wanted to do this just because what's happening in the world, and then just what's already going on in my own personal life. And what I have found in this month is just living life, you know. I don't want to keep repeating myself, but just using things in your life as a motivator to get through your grieving process will definitely help you along the way. Grieving does take time, it does. And you just have to stay really positive and surround yourself with great people who want to see you win, who want to see you be 100% you, even when you aren't 100% yourself. So guys, I really hope this video can enlighten you, can inspire you, can motivate you, and it can get you to seek help if maybe that's what you need. Maybe you aren't ready to find five things in your life to grieve, 5 things that help you to grieve a little bit easier and to use as a motivator. So guys, I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. You really help me out on that. And if you want to join the family, don't forget to subscribe. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can see more from me instantly. So guys, until next time, I'll see you in my next video. And let's just keep inspiring, right? So, see you guys.